All right then, so I've got to welcome to the show Mr. Blobbie Williams.
Oh, it is so good to be on your show. I've been looking forward to this moment for months now.
Now, Blob, we're very excited because there's a big event coming up this weekend. But just tell us a bit about how it all started for you then, Blobbie. You know, what got you inspired?
Well, what got me inspired was probably the number one entertainer, I believe, of Robbie Williams himself. Such a great entertainer, an all-round entertainer, I believe. If you've ever had the chance to see him live, you'll know exactly what I'm on about. Great songs, and his showmanship is second to none. And I just loved his stuff, but I was always a little bit too chunky to just be a Robbie Williams tribute. So I thought one day, I was stood in the kitchen, I was singing along as you do, cooking up my dinner, which was a rather large dinner at the time. And the other half said, why don't you look a bit like Robbie, you could be Blobbie. And then it was born. And I thought, well, is it good enough on its own? So I went and saw a friend called Jules Benjamin, who decided he would be Gary Lardo. And we put together Take Fat. But of course, as in real life, you've got Take That and you've got Robbie. You've now got Take Fat and Blobbie. Right. So I'm very lucky that I can go off and I can perform and I can do bits and pieces and can do solo shows, which is great fun, touring around performing. And just like Robbie has been touring with Ollie Murs, I've got my very own version. I've got Baldy Murs, who supports me wherever I go. I mean, he is such a great singer and dancer and performer himself. So with the whole show, you know, I come on with all the big hits, and Baldy comes on and sings all the great Ollie songs before me, and it really is a fun show, really good fun, and we're really enjoying time on the road at the moment. And of course, I was very lucky quite early on to have won Come Dine With Me on Channel 4, which I appeared on as Blobbie. And since then, it's gone a bit crazy. I was on Deal or No Deal as well. Of course, you know, Blobbie and Noel Edmonds back together on TV was quite nice. Yeah. Apart from I didn't have any a pink suit or yellow spots. But it's just been really good fun. And I've had lots of TV, and I was on Sky One with Take Fat, and we were on CBBC on The Slammer, and all sorts of different bits and pieces. And it's just gone from strength to strength. So we're peaking, and we're coming to see you on Saturday.
You've been doing the sort of follow-up tour. Robbie and Ollie have been, going to places, and you and Baldy have been following them, haven't you?
Well, that's right. Wherever they were, we were. So if, for instance, they were at the O2 in London or somewhere like that, we'd also go to the O2 in London. Right. But the phone shop got a little bit annoyed with us, so we had to leave. But, anywhere they've been, we've been. If they were in Manchester, we were there. And so if you put Blobbie Williams into Google, then I'm all over the place. You can't get rid of me. I'm like a bad penny.
Well, you're coming to Rugby this Saturday for the big Bonfire Night celebrations. It all kicks off at 6 o'clock, so make sure you get there plenty of time. What's your favourite song, Robbie Williams song then, Blobbie?
Oh, that's a real tough one, isn't it? There's so many good songs. Obviously, I love getting on stage and singing Let Me Entertain You as a good opener. That's a really good opener, getting everybody jumping around and singing back. And, of course, there's Rock DJ. And then you have to peak. You can't do a show without singing Angels at the very end and having the whole crowd singing back to you. So I'm hoping that everybody on stage and in the crowds on Saturday is going to be doing just that.
Well, looking forward to your performance. Now, we've done a little bit of research, a bit of Robbie research, right, Blobbie?
Okay. And
we're going to test your general knowledge.
Oh, this could go terribly wrong.
Okay, all right.
This could be a career ender.
What year was Robbie Williams born?
Oh, blimey. Well, I think I'm going to say 1974.
Oh, very good.
Look at that.
Blobbie, how many records has Robbie sold worldwide? Is it 30 million, 70 million, or 110 million?
Do you know what? I'm going to go crazy, and I'm going to say 110 million.
Oh! It's 70 million.
Well, I was close. What's 40 million?
Blobbie, why is Robbie in the Guinness Book of Records?
Good Lord. That's a great question, and I haven't got a clue, so I'm going to have to guess. Is he in the Guinness Book of Records for the amount of ladies' underwear to be thrown at him on stage at one gig?
It's such a shame it's not the correct answer. For selling 1.6 million tickets for his Close Encounters tour in one single day.
That is incredible.
It's an amazing achievement. Question number 4. Can you name Robbie's primary school back in Stoke-on-Trent?
No.
Mill Hill Primary School!
Of course it is. What am I thinking?
And final question then. What was the first solo song Robbie ever recorded after he left the boys?
I believe it was Freedom.
Is the correct answer. 3 out of 5 ain't bad.
Well, that's not too bad, is it? Maybe I need to go and brush up and do some research.
Brilliant. So, go on then. I'll throw it open to you now. You're going to introduce a Blobbie Williams song we're going to play on the radio. Just invite everybody down this Saturday, Blobbie. Why should we be getting there?
One, not only am I going to be on stage performing all the big hits, Baldy Murs is going to be there too, and of course the brilliant firework display, which I hear is sensational. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I believe I can introduce my a song that was recorded that we did an acoustic session not so long back, and this is it with my guitarist and my keyboard player. It's called Candy.
I was there to witness Candice is in a business. She wants the boys to notice her rainbows in her ponies. She was educated, could not count to 10. Now she got lots of different horses, lots of different men. And I said, liberate your sons and daughters. The bush is high, but in the hole there's water. If you want some, you can get it. Nothing sacred, well, it's a living. Hey ho, here she goes, either a little too high or a little too low. Got no self-esteem and vertigo. She thinks she's made of candy. Hey ho, here she goes, either a little too loud or a little too close. Got a hurricane in the back of her throat. She thinks she's made of candy, yeah, yeah, yeah. Ring a ring of roses, whoever gets the closest. She comes and she goes as a war of the roses. Mother was a victim, father beat the system by moving bricks to Brixton, learning how to fix them. Liberate your sons and daughters. The bush is high, in the hole there's water. As you wish you beat the whole of the law. If it don't feel good, what are you doing it for? Hey ho, here she goes, either a little too high or a little too low. Got no self-esteem and vertigo. She thinks she's made of candy. Hey ho, here she goes, either a little too loud or a little too close. Got a hurricane in the back of her throat. She thinks she's made of candy, yeah, yeah, yeah. Liberate your sons and daughters. The bush is high, but in the hole there's water. As you wish you beat the whole of the law. If it don't feel good, what are you doing it for? 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 Hey ho, here she goes, either a little too high or a little too low. Got no self-esteem and vertigo. She thinks she's made of candy. Hey ho, here she goes, either a little too loud or a little too close. Got a hurricane in the back of her throat. She thinks she's made of candy. Hey ho, here she goes, either a little too high or a little too low. Got no self-esteem and vertigo. She thinks she's made of candy. Hey ho, here she goes, either a little too loud or a little too close. Got a hurricane in the back of her throat. She thinks she's made of candy, yeah, yeah, yeah.